Welcome to
4Kids Flashback. Hello, welcome to 4Kids Flashback. My name is Tara Sands, and I'm joined by
Steve Yurko.
Here we are. This is a show where we go behind the scenes of the company 4Kids, who brought shows like Pokémon, Yu-Gi-Oh!, One Piece, Funky Cops, Kirby, Sonic. There's 20 billion other ones. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Dinosaur King, Chaotic. They dubbed a lot of those shows or did them originally. Our guest today worked on the original content at 4Kids. I was a voice actor at 4Kids, so that's why I'm doing this podcast. And I brought along Steve, who has... You want to tell them your qualifications, Steve?
Yeah, I watched some of this stuff.
You watched a lot of this stuff.
I might have some expertise with today's guests, a little bit in common, so...
So they are both storyboard artists, which I'm hoping to sit back and enjoy the shop talk today.
With
yeah,
and that guest being, did you say? I don't think you said the name.
I didn't say his name. His name is Adrian Barrios. We're excited to meet him.
Absolutely.
So I had another a theme of my nonsense on this show are my airport sightings. So I had another good one.
And whom was it?
Well, it was Martin Short.
Martin Short, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one, right?
Yeah, and he's relevant, these days. He's got his Hulu program.
Right, so in my head, so this is like, I love, because we talk about like fangirling and fanboying at conventions a lot. So when I saw him, I thought, okay, just in case I'm sitting next to him, which I knew was never happening, because I wasn't in first class, and I'm sure he was. But I was thinking like, what am I going to bring up? Because again, I don't want to bring up only murders in the building because that's what everyone says. Mm-hmm. So like I dug deep. Like I saw him in a Broadway show a million years ago, and I was like, okay, I have my thing. So that's how I fangirl.
You didn't get to talk to him, did you?
No, I didn't get to talk to him. I didn't want to bother. He was like, he looked like it was one of the days when like everything was delayed, and I was like, he looked like he was having an intense conversation. I was like, oh, I'm not saying anything to that man. Yeah. But I wanted to tell you a funny twist because I do talk about a lot of my airport sightings. So as I was about to go through security recently, the guy looked at my ID and said, "I love your work as Bisky." And that's never happened to me before.
Oh.
So, and I think that made me the most awkward and weird of anything. Like, I've fangirled and been awkward. That I got like flustered. I was like, oh my God, thank you so much. I like almost walked through the security thing without putting my bags in the right place. Like, I got so flustered from it because I was shocked.
And that's never happened.
Never.
TSA has a lot of weebs. They are anime fans there. Sometimes I
see them with pins a lot.
Yeah, I think I've mentioned this on the podcast, but I usually intentionally try to wear like an anime shirt when I'm flying. So I'm like, you know what?
You have, yeah.
Just an easy experience, but then usually the time I fly, there's like nobody there anyway.
You know what maybe I'll do? Maybe on one of my bags, because I have a Bulbasaur and a Pokeball luggage tag. Mm-hmm. Maybe I'll put those on the ones I put through security.
I think fair bet.
Yeah. Because I was just with Kaylee Mills at a convention this weekend, and she got totally like they were rifling through everyone's bags, and she totally got stuck in that nonsense. And like, damn, it was.
Do you have pre-check?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have pre-check. I have clear. I'm not messing around.
Right.
Do you?
Yeah. I swear by pre-check, but now I think across the board, no one has to take their shoes off anymore.
They changed that. That was the big deal for me.
Yeah, I think
because
Well, no, I just think even like just general.
Anyone.
Because
anyone can wear their shoes.
I hate to jinx it, but I'm like because I don't think we've had a shoe incident since. What was that? 2004.
Way to jinx it, Steve.
Oh God.
You're all going to be taking your shoes off again, and you'll know who to thank.
Mm-hmm.
Steve.
But I don't know. I got pre-check. I don't have to do that.
No, I know. Me too. And but sometimes like I can't believe this is our conversation and we will move on, I promise.
Hmm.
Certain boots and shoes have like metal in them anyway. Okay. Next topic. Because this is not what the show is about. Are you watching anything good that
Am I
we should
watching
know about?
anything good right now?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, not at the moment. But we just finished like season 2 of Interview with the Vampire, the AMC show.
Oh, how was that?
Oh, it fanging and banging. It was good.
Banging and banging. Is
It
that
was
like a thing, or did
no,
you
it was
make that
excellent.
up?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think I stole that from a vampire wrestler. Don't look it up. It really good. Like I enjoyed season 1 a lot, and season 2 kicked a lot of ass. I'm right now. I've just been doing a lot of just work and travel, and I have not really had time to watch anything new as like TV show wise. I don't know anything.
Okay.
Anything entertaining you these days?
I watch a lot of trash reality, but I'm watching Lowdown with Ethan Hawke. It's really
Oh,
good.
yeah,
But
I've
it's
seen-
again
I've
not
seen ads.
anime related, unfortunately. But I keep wanting to watch Bungo Stray Dogs.
Oh yeah, no, in the last couple weeks I've heard that name get thrown around a little bit in terms of suggestions. I don't know if it's my thing, but I haven't looked much into it. I did see the Chainsaw Man movie recently, and that was great.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
In terms of other stuff, I'm just trying to. Now it's like because I hardly have time to watch anything. If when I go to the gym, when I do cardio, I try to like sneak in an episode or two or something to get in there because that's like I don't know. Yeah.
You know what I'm curious about, and I'll ask this to Adrian as well. When you're watching animation, do you picture what the storyboards might have been like in your head, or can you separate?
I don't tend to,
Okay.
because I think it really depends on the production because anime boards are very different than probably what most boards are like for American productions these days. I think like anime boards are still very traditional where they're just pencil drawings on paper, and the animators kind of fill in the
Oh,
gaps.
really?
Yeah, it's like how it used to be.
Oh, interesting.
Well,
Okay.
ours are, we basically board to animatics at this point, and that's just animatics are just I'll say like it's when everything gets put together and timed and has voice work or some music in there, but it's not the final animation, but it's like the step before. So
Oh, wow. I did not realize that was the order of things. Let's definitely get into that today. Our guest is in the Zoom waiting room, and we will be right back with Adrian Barrios.
is that right?
Our guest today is Adrian Barrios. Adrian worked at 4Kids from 2002 to 2009. He not only did storyboards there, but he also was the lead character designer for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and did concept art and illustration for Chaotic, Dinosaur King, yeah, and other stuff which we will find out about today. Welcome to the show, Adrian.
Hello, everyone. Adrian here, and thank you for having me here.
I'm so excited to have you because we haven't actually talked to anyone yet who's done any type of character design work at 4Kids. So I'm really curious about that. Chuck also said such nice things about you. Denny said nice things about you. So, and honestly, since I mean, we'll get into this later, but since he's worked at 4Kids, this dude is no joke. He has done storyboards at every possible place in Los Angeles. Wild Brain, Marvel, Disney, DreamWorks, Sony, Rooster Teeth Bento Box, Nickelodeon, Skybound, Netflix,
Yeah.
like every place a storyboard is needed, you have been. So,
Yeah, pretty much.
but it looks like 4Kids was your first job professionally. Is that correct?
I would say yes. Very first full time as a big in a big company. I started as a Flash animator. It was during the time when Flash was like, being the program of the animation. So I did that for a little bit, and then I did some freelance. Well, I helped out my dad. My dad is also an animator. He storyboards for
Oh,
he
wow.
storyboarded for the OGs, like the classics, like Recess. He did like Gargoyles,
Wow.
Double Dragon. Yeah,
Whoa.
Smurfs, like all the classics. Yeah, yeah, he worked on the classics. So I was pretty much
Wow.
exposed to, storyboarding, but I never really I thought it was really hard and it's too much work. That's why I kind of stuck to doing design in the beginning, So I'm like I probably can do this. So I tried, that's what I tried doing.
I mean, this is a layman's question, but why is that easier than storyboarding?
Um,
Is it just the time consumption of that,
well,
or
I think the way I see it is because when you do storyboards, I know Steve would know this, is that you have to pretty much be able to do everything from design to designing characters, background props, and pretty much directing the scenes and all the continuity and all that stuff. So there's so much to learn in just one field. So with character design, there's still also a lot to learn. But it's just that one spot. You got to focus on just one spot. So.
maybe this is a silly question, but it sounds like with character design, like that's like a kid who grows up drawing and is just has a real talent for that, and that's more your thing and your
Yeah.
imagination, whereas storyboards you're going off of someone else's vision. Maybe is that
Um,
accurate?
well,
Or
yes and no. Yes and no. With character design, you definitely have to come up with your own with your own creation from your imagination, obviously. And but with storyboards, it's kind of in the same way. You have models to base your drawings from, but with setting up the shots and all the action sequences and everything. You have to set it up from your imagination as well. But it's just I don't know how to maybe Steve could help me out with this with
Yeah, sure.
explaining this.
Well, and I think I might have explained this to Tara before. Like sometimes there's a difference, in terms of productions. Like a show could be either script driven or it's board driven.
Mm,
Board driven is really kind of that's the board artist. Really, it's also the show is kind of more of the board artist vision
mm,
than is anybody else's. As opposed to a script driven show, it's more like the producers, the writers. They have what they know what they
yeah.
want. It's still kind of like the board left to like fill in the rest of the blanks
Yeah.
there. Um,
I would also add that
those-
it also depends on the director you're working with. Sometimes they have like, some directors would give you thumbnails already before you
oh yeah,
even start your board, right? And then some would just like react on what you already do. So it depends really.
hmm
okay, and I want to go more into your journey of work, but I just want to understand the
Mm,
process of the order of things. Like the script comes first, I assume,
hmm. Yeah.
right? And then the animatic, the Steve just told me this and I've already forgotten. And like where
Um,
when does the voiceover happen? When
Yeah, I from what I know, yeah. So the script happens first, and then the director's breakdown, and then that gets handed to designers, so designers, the character designers, the background designers, prop designers. So they would design the backgrounds, characters, and props, and then it would be handed to the storyboard guys, and the storyboard guys would just board it, and then I think it depends also because like different studios do it in different ways. Like some the voices are done before the storyboards and some after the storyboards. So yeah,
Oh, okay.
and so sometimes storyboard guys would base their boards from the voices because sometimes it won't match, because like we were just imagine how the actors would say
Yeah,
this and then sometimes in the other studio it's the other way around. So it's kind of a tricky thing.
right. Well, I always love when I record something and there's like minimal, notes in
Mm,
between about the action going on, but then I see it and they've added so much more. Like
yeah.
my character, maybe they add a trip, my character trips and
Yeah.
falls as they're walking, and I'm like, oh, cool. And like I'll come in for post and do like a react for
Yeah.
that they're like, oh, but I'm always so curious. Was that the storyboard guy or is that the director? And I guess there's no way to ever know that, but I do feel like it's a job that does not get as much
Mm.
attention for being as creative as it is and having as much input as it does.
Yeah, it's definitely a collaboration between the board guys and the directors for sure.
Hey guys, Tara Sands here. I have some upcoming convention appearances, and I'd love to meet you all in person. January 17th and 18th, Anime Wave in Fresno, California. January 24th, 25th, the Cards and More Tour PokeCon in Portland, Oregon. January 30th through February 1st, Anime Town in Greenville, South Carolina. March 28th, 29th, Syracuse Collectors Con in Syracuse, New York. June 6th and 7th, Lilac City Comic Con in Spokane, Washington. June 26th through 28th, Planet FunkCon in Davenport, Iowa. And I have a ton more that will be announced soon. So if you can make it out, come say hi. See you soon. How did you get this job at 4Kids?
Oh, okay.
Let's hear that story.
This is actually a fun story. So basically what happened was I was living in California and I was just, doing some freelance here and there. And I just want to say that I wasn't the original character designer for the show. There was already a guy named AJ, this really super talented dude who did the main characters. With Chuck.
Okay.
So they help.
And this is Turtles.
Yeah, we're talking about
Turtles
the
right now,
2003
right? Okay.
TMNT. So he was the guy that set the style for the show. And but what happened was for some reason he couldn't continue with the show. And so Chuck was like, "Oh, I need to find someone. I need to find someone to replace this guy or continue this." So he thought of my dad. Chuck did. Because they worked together before in Double Dragon. So my dad was his character designer, Chuck's character designer. So he was the first guy that he thought of. So Chuck thought of calling my dad and asking if my dad would move to New York and take on the responsibility. But my dad was like, of course, being a dad, he's like, no, I can't do it, but I have a son.
Yeah. Oh, I love
Yeah,
this.
it was like one of those things, right?
Oh, wow.
So Chuck was like, well, is your son as good as you? And of course, being a dad, my dad was like, he's better than me. He sold me, man. He sold me good.
How old were you? I mean, you must have been real
Yeah,
young.
I was 22 at the time. I was turning 22 at the time. Yeah.
Wow, you were a baby.
I was a baby for sure. But can I tell you a side story prior to this getting this gig? Okay, so basically, a year before that, September 8th, 2001, I flew to New York.
Yeah.
My very first time flying to New York and visiting New York. Yeah, it was supposed to be for a job interview as well with my friend Del Barrios. I don't know. Have you heard Del Barrios?
No. That's a new name.
Yeah. Okay. So Del Barrios was actually the original storyboard supervisor for TMNT 2003 before being replaced by Otis Brayboy. But anyway, so I went to New York 2001 2 days prior to September 11th. And September 11th was supposed to be a meeting in the city, and then things happened.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was crazy. So I got stuck in New York for 2 more weeks because we couldn't fly. And then I was just pretty much traumatized at that time. So when I flew back to California, and then my dad got the phone call from Chuck. And then my dad was like, prepare your portfolio, get ready. Because, so I was like, wow, what's happening? Oh, my friend from New York, asking for your stuff. I was like, I'm not ready. So he helped me prepare it and then send it to Chuck. And basically Chuck, I think, talked to Joe Ellen, the producer at the time. And they contacted me and then they told me to fly in. And I asked them, when do I fly in? And then they told me, can you do it in 3 days? Like, can you be here in 3 days? I'm like, I got none. So pretty much I just grabbed a duffel bag, packed it with my stuff, and flew to New York.
Wow.
Yeah. And
how did you share a portfolio in those days? Because it wasn't like you could email.
No. Yeah. It was, I think it was fax or something.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
I think
my gosh.
I think I faxed it.
Wow.
No, but it was already
That's
email, I think. I
bonkers.
think it was the already email 2000. Was it email or a fax? I think it was fax. I
Well, it's
remember I still remember
2002.
yeah,
Yeah.
I had the portfolio. I think I faxed it or something. Um yeah. Yeah, so because I remember I already had Flash animation that I sent to Chuck that Chuck
Okay.
saw, and then that's what actually got Chuck to like, okay, this guy.
So there must have been a
Yeah,
way
there
to
was a way.
send it
I
back
just
then.
remember how it was. But so yeah, so I packed my stuff. It was just like real, literally a duffel bag of stuff, and I just like I'm never coming back. So I flew to yeah, it was crazy. And check this out. So they asked me to fly in. I remember that was a Monday to get to New York. So I got to New York that morning for my interview. So I showed up at the studio still with my duffel bag because I thought it was going to be an interview or a test for like a day,
Oh.
right? So my flight back to California was Wednesday that week. So I was just gonna be there for like 2 days and a half, right? To just like basically show my face and then test me out. So I got there, they set me up. I started working, I started doing some designs and all that stuff. So and I was very green at the time. I really I mean like if I'm hiring myself that young kid, I would be like, nope, you're not good enough. I was lucky. I was just lucky. I
Oh.
was just lucky to get that spot. So basically, so during that day, I started drawing. I did my thing, and then at the end of the day, I went to Jo Ellen's office and I asked her. So I just want to know how I did. You know, did I do good? Did I do okay? And then she was like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, aren't you guys like testing me and stuff?" And then she's like, "No, what are you talking about? You were it. You're it. You have the job. Do you want it? Do you want it or not?" And then I said, "But I have to fly back on Wednesday." And then she's like,
She's like, no, you
"Well,
don't.
yes." She's like, "Well, if you fly back on Wednesday, then we're gonna give it to someone else." So I'm like, "I'm taking it. I'm taking it." So yeah. And
Wow.
then so I was broke. I was broke. I was just a kid, right?
Of
So
course.
what I did was I just a couple of days I had to like really look for a some hostels, and it was like bad experiences in New York especially.
Wow.
Yeah, so after Wednesday, because I got a hotel for Monday to Wednesday, but after that I got no money for anything else. So
Oh
and
my
then
God.
yeah, so I was in a hostel for a couple of days, and then after that 2 days I had nowhere to go, nowhere.
Oh
So
my
yeah, so I did Central Park for one night. Yeah, yeah, I did Central Park for one
Just
night.
to clarify, you stayed in Central Park for a night.
You
Yes,
You
slept
yeah,
on a
slept on the
bench?
bench for a night.
I looked for a place to in Central Park. Yeah, it was like near some bridge. I remember that, but I just like slept
This
there.
is insane.
Yeah, and then I just came into work super early, wash up a little bit. Just like I didn't even shower, just like yeah.
Wow.
And then so I just like really braved it, and then asked one of my coworkers, happened to be another Filipino guy, and my dad kind of knew. So I asked him, it was Romeo Tanghal.
Oh, okay.
Do you know Romeo?
I've seen
Romeo
his
Tanghal
name.
is a
I don't, but I've seen his name. Yeah.
yeah, he was a prop designer for the show at the time.
Yeah.
So I asked him, I was like, Romeo, is there a way is there a way to crash at your where you're staying at? And he's like, dude, I'm also crashing at someone else's
Oh my God.
place. But he's like, but
Artists.
yeah, seriously, because he lives all the way in Jersey, so he was just crashing at someone's place in Jersey City. So I was like, and then but he's like, oh, but I have a car. I was like, I'll take it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so for
Adrian.
yeah, yeah. So for because I haven't gotten paid yet. Remember that?
Yeah.
So I didn't have no
Probably
Right.
money.
what,
You
like
didn't
every
even
two
know.
weeks or so?
Yeah,
You get
every
that
two
check. Yeah.
weeks. Yeah, so I didn't
That's
have
a
And
long
you
money.
wait.
probably could have asked for like
I was too,
like a a head start, but you didn't know to
I
ask
didn't
that.
know.
How
I didn't
could you
know.
at 22? Yeah.
Exactly. I was
No,
just ready to
why
go. I mean, like for me, it was nothing, It's like experience.
wow.
Yeah. So yeah, well, I was so happy already that when he offered me the car, I'm like, I'll take it. So I slept in the car for 4 days, 4 nights. Yeah, he just basically gave me a blanket and a pillow, which I'm so thankful for. I mean,
Wow.
yeah. So I don't know, I forgot what month this was, but it wasn't that cold yet, so I was able to do
Okay.
that.
Okay, good.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I was sleeping in the car for 4 days, and then this is the craziest part is was so that was it. That was the last day of my car sleeping. So we came to work. I was just like, oh my God, where am I gonna sleep tonight? Where am I gonna sleep tonight? And then finally I found a guy from work that told me, "Oh yeah, my roommate, my friend is looking for a roommate." I was like, "I'll take it." I didn't care where it was.
Where it
Yeah, I didn't
was.
take it. Yeah, so I did. I took it. It was in Woodside. It was in Woodside, Queens. And then
Okay.
yeah, it was a little bedroom. And then so yeah, I lived there for how long did I live there for? 3 months. And then after that, I got finally got an apartment. And yeah.
Oh my gosh. But I mean, this is like such an artist tale. We
Yeah.
talk to so many different types of artists on this show. What even if it's editing or like and this is what you do when you love something
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you want to do it. Like it's such a
absolutely.
great lesson. Are you formally trained or was it by from your dad or just natural ability?
Well, yeah, pretty much just self-taught and also some mentorship,
Mhm.
I was I went to my dad's teacher here in the Philippines when I was younger. I was there for a couple of months. He taught me a lot, and then I learned so much from him. And then after that, I just went on my own and then studied under my dad, and that's pretty much it. And then
Wow.
4Kids became my art school, to be honest.
Yeah.
I
Mm.
Yeah.
really I I can't thank them enough for really having me there and like for really giving me the chance to learn so much and this, because I really didn't deserve it. To be honest, I didn't deserve it. I didn't deserve it.
I
It
well,
was
that you can say that, but your colleagues, the people you've worked with have said
oh
otherwise.
no,
So
no, they're just being too
just to know
nice.
that. Well, and I'm glad you mentioned the Philippines because, from what I understand, and please correct me if I'm wrong,
Mm.
Filipinos have a really rich history in animation. Denny mentioned that as well. I wonder if there's like what is that about? Like when you find, is it that it's taught from generations, or is it that I
It
don't
was
know what that
um
is.
it was actually more in the comics. There was a time where
Okay,
yeah, there was a time where I think this was during the uh I think 60s or 70s when the Filipino comic book artist kind of boomed in the industry, and they start because the West discovered that so many talents in this place, so they pretty much took them all to the States, and they became um the main people in the animation in the States. They're pretty much all Filipinos at the time. But the animation here in the Philippines didn't really start until the 80s, I think. Hanna-Barbera, they had a studio here, and so yeah, so they trained them here during that time. And my dad was actually one of the pioneers when they were just starting animation here. So yeah.
that's so cool.
Yeah, it was
I love learning the history of that. Yeah.
yeah, it was more of I don't think the animation was done here, but I think the cleanup in between and all that stuff were done here. I think the animation was still being done in the West, and then it
Okay.
being
Well,
sent
hopefully
here.
they were paying fairly when they're going to different countries to do all that. That's what you have to hope, but I don't
Mm.
know if that's the I know I was going to say that's why I'm saying hope, but I assume that's not the case,
Yeah.
unfortunately. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
My dad was telling me stories, crazy stories, because I think they had to work per drawing, I think. They get paid per drawing.
Interesting.
So in
Wow.
animation, there is like they call it for footage, but I don't know what that meant. But so they would crank up so they would work pretty much 19 hours a day just to like make something.
God.
Yeah, and they actually in animation studios here in the Philippines, they actually have pull-out beds under your desk because that's where you yeah,
No.
I'm not kidding. That's where you sleep.
Well, okay, you could have used that in New York, honestly.
Yes,
Let's you know,
a couple
Not
of
to
times I
encourage that
did.
behavior, but
Yeah.
yeah. That's fascinating, and what
Yeah.
a horrible shame. And I would hope that over the years that's improved
Yeah,
at least a
my
little
dad
bit.
was,
But
I was telling my dad that I told my dad, I was like, that is horrible. But my dad was like, no, it was actually the best training we've ever had because like, when they migrated to the States, they were so fast and everyone was like, what the hell's going on? Because they were so used to doing that much work, you know? So when
right.
they got to the States, they were just like easy peasy, you know? So
That's fascinating. Okay,
yeah.
so you get to 4 Kids. You're this 22. Do you remember like what they had you working on that first day or week or month or
Yeah, yeah. Yes, I definitely remember. I'll never forget that. Because I was so new. It was annoying. I was annoying. What happened was, yeah. So they gave me this incidental characters. It was like a bunch of students, right? So I was so happy and so enthusiastic and so proud at being there. So working around real professionals. Danny was next to me. I was like, oh my God, this guy's good. Oh, this guy's good. And then there was another guy named Antonio. He now is own Titmouse.
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he was just right sitting
Yeah,
right.
there's a lot of big deals that came out of this
Yeah,
place.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he was just behind me doing some backgrounds. He was a supervisor for the background supervisor for that show. And I was just like so amazed and I was just so happy that like I felt like, oh my gosh, this is it. I belong to these crap. But yes, I was doing these characters and you know how like Chuck is like in a meeting all the time, you know, director. So every time I finish a drawing, I would try to find him. I try to find him, even if when he's in a meeting, it's like, "Sir," I used to call him "Sir" too, and he hated it. "Sir,
Oh,
here's my drawing." I was just this kid. I was just like, you know. So and he's like, first of all, you don't have to call me sir, and second of all, this could wait. Okay, all right, cool. So
this is not an
yeah,
emergency. Yeah.
seriously.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
remember barging in a meeting.
Student number
Yeah,
3. Yeah.
seriously, seriously.
It's the energy of wanting to get it put on the fridge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
seriously, pretty
Yeah.
much. And what's cool about this was I think I was only there for about a couple of months. They did the behind the scene where they
Oh,
yeah, do you remember that the 2003 behind the scene? Uh
vaguely. I
Vaguely,
yeah.
think I've
yeah.
watched that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I
I
have to
was
check that for
yeah.
that. Yeah.
I was like included in that one. So I was like so happy. I was like, what? You know, so they had me draw on
Oh,
live and all that stuff. So yeah, that was so
that's
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Well, we thought, like, from our perspective, when you guys came in, it made the whole studio way cooler because, you know, we were dubbing stuff, which was fine. We were
Mm.
happy to be doing it, but then the artists came in, and then we got like,
Chaos.
and chaos, but also like I would love when I had to walk through there, I would
Yeah.
just kind of peek over your shoulders
Yeah.
and especially because listen, as much as I love dubbing work, I what I love even more is creating a character from scratch
Mm.
that, you know, and we all wanted to work on Turtles.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you were part of the cool kids club,
We
you know.
were over.
So you were young. Were you nervous about this place that had never made a show from scratch before with new animation like that?
See that's the thing. It's like I didn't know anything about it. You know, I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know the studio. I just thought I was like, wow, this is a cool studio. You know, lovely people, awesome people. So I was just like, you know, and of course, you know, like when you're in that age, you just like go for it. You know, just I didn't have anything to lose. I didn't have any family. I didn't have any, you know. So I was just like, whatever. Let's go with the flow. The studio is cool, and I don't know the background of it, and you know, so I just went for it.
So you were doing background character design at that point.
Yeah, background
When
character.
and so does it change over the like? How does that evolve? Do you have any of these old sketches? Like,
Yes, I actually do. I kept it. They're in my storage in LA. Yeah.
oh, we need to see that whenever you get the chance to let us
Yeah. Oh my
see.
God.
We
I don't
love
think
stuff
you
like
do.
that.
I
No,
don't.
the fans love that stuff. I mean, I think even again, just understanding the evolution of this stuff, like how it goes from being a rudimentary thing to coming alive on a screen
Mm,
is so interesting to someone who doesn't understand or doesn't work in it, you know?
yeah.
So you'd be amazed what people want to know. So, because again, you just, at some point, you move up to lead character design. You did storyboard
Mm,
artists. I know you also worked on Dinosaur King and Chaotic. And
yeah.
so, are there any particular characters that you're really proud of, or any that were a real challenge where you went back and forth with character design over and over again?
Um, well, all of them were pretty much fun to draw. Especially the villains. But it came to a point where I think uh man, I don't know if I'm gonna get in trouble for saying this, but I don't think the writers were running out of ideas for Shredder for the main villain because
Yeah.
the first Shredder is the villain, the main villain. So and then the next season he had 4 arms, right? And the season after that he had 6 arms. I'm like, where are you gonna go after this? So it was like it was that kind of situation, but it was fun. It was just so much fun. It was just like fun for me, you know. And then
Yeah,
the
I think
last
Chuck
season he
was
had
pulling his hair
tentacles.
out at this point. Yeah, like
Oh,
I think Chuck was probably going crazy because he was so seasoned,
yeah.
and you came in with this optimism, and
Oh
I
my
think that was
gosh.
probably really helpful for him.
Uh,
Like
I don't, I
because
don't know if I was a helpful friend. I was this kid that he had to take care of pretty much.
no, look, stop selling
Well,
yourself short.
did
Yeah.
you feel like the experience there? Like, did you have like people kind of taking you under their wing and kind of training
Oh,
you like as you're working, or was it just like, all right, there's your desk, let's see some good
no,
stuff?
I mean
Because
that was definitely what I love about the team is we were all helping each other out, especially probably me when they saw me as like this young kid, we don't know because like I think I was the only one that came from California. They all lived in New York, so they know each
Hmm.
other in the
Mhm.
circle. So but I never felt like an outsider because like they really help help me out a lot, big time. And yeah, so when I was doing characters, I was always talking to another guy named Keith Conroy because like he was a he
Okay.
was a background guy at the time. But he was also doing he's really good at characters. So I would always ask him, for advice and stuff like that. And he would, you know, happily give it to me. Yeah. So
It seems like such a good group. Yeah.
it fun, super fun group. I would never ever trade it with any other group. It's so much fun. So much fun.
So I'm curious because it does say that you did stuff on Dinosaur King, which was a dub. So I'm curious what your involvement with that was.
Um, so yeah, that came after Turtles, like when we finished the entire Turtle show, which was
Okay.
like how many seasons? I forgot how many, 8 seasons?
I think so. Yeah.
Steve
Yeah,
knows better than me.
something
Sorry,
something
I
like
don't.
that, right?
But when
Yeah.
we, well, it's funny though because when we say 8 seasons, it wasn't 8 years, and now we equate that to years because it couldn't have been eight. There
Yeah.
were there 2 seasons a year at that point.
Well, I started 2002 and I
Hmm.
finished 2010. So that's 8 years. But it wasn't because we never had a break. We never really had a break. So it was
Right, you went from
continuous.
one show to
One
another.
one one
Yeah,
season to
yeah.
another season. Yeah. So it was continuous. Um and then with your question with the dino what is that called again? The
Dinosaur
dinosaurs?
King.
Dinosaur King.
Dinosaur King, Dinosaur King. Yeah. We only did cards for that. I only
Hmm.
did
Okay.
cards, yeah.
Can you explain what that means? I don't even actually.
Um
I said, oh, and I don't know what that
oh, it's
means.
playing cards. So we did illustration for it. Yeah.
Oh, they
Oh,
had a card game for that?
I
not
think
I
surprising.
so.
hadn't.
Yeah, I think so.
I
It
I
had
would
couldn't.
be
no
like,
I can't
idea.
confirm that for sure, but four
yeah,
kids licensing a show and making a card
And
game.
making
That sounds about
yeah,
right.
yeah,
that adds up.
yeah.
Yeah, because I was trying to figure out. I'm like, what could he possibly have done? And then, I mean, I know I'm jumping around a lot,
Mm,
but then Chaotic comes up where it's all new again. It's
yeah.
their next turtles. What was your involvement with that
It
show?
was the same. It was that came Chaotic came in when we're still finishing up with Turtles. So,
Mm-hmm.
from what I remembered, uh, they wanted to do animation. So, they kind of consulted us, like Carol kind of consulted us,
Yeah.
about like designs and stuff like that. So we put some inputs in, and then it was the animation was done somewhere else. We didn't do it, and but when the cards started, we got involved after we finished with Turtles. That's what I love for kids. It's like they didn't let us go when we finished with Turtles. They just basically put us on another project, you know. So
Yeah.
we, so after Turtles, we got put on to uh many other shows. There's also the Banjo and Kazooie development. We did that.
Oh,
We
Oh,
I mean
really?
like
that's the
yeah,
first I'm hearing about this. Okay.
yeah. We did just a tiny work in development phase. And also, yeah, so with Chaotic, it was Kari Randolph is the one that started with the cards.
Oh, yeah.
He was doing the illustration while we're still doing Turtles. So, and then after we finished, we joined them, and Jason Narvaez is the one that was supervising it, and Jason Narvaez was a storyboard artist for TMNT before that. So,
Okay. So when did you switch? Because I want to move into your
yeah,
storyboard
yeah.
work, obviously, and I know that the order. I my favorite part of working on Turtles was seeing the
Mm,
storyboards.
mm,
So I know that they went in that order at that point
yeah.
because we would do our table read and we would see these things, and I thought it was so. But wait, actually, do storyboards become the animatics, or am I sometimes?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So then we were looking at the storyboards and not the animatics. Okay. I'm just clarifying. When did you switch from working on background characters to
Yeah. So
storyboarding?
this is actually interesting. When so this Chuck was already gone at this point. He left already.
Mm-hmm.
And then Roy Burdine came in and took over. Roy
Mm-hmm.
Burdine did so amazing with his storyboards for TMNT when Chuck was still there. So he was um picked as the new director. And then when he came in, I was still a character designer at the time. And at some point, um, they wanted to, I think they couldn't find any more storyboard artists outside to for Turtles. So what Roy decided was to give all of us a page or two to do storyboards. So whoever wants to do storyboards, here's a page or two. And I was like, I want to try. I want to try. I remember that. I remember that it was a motor racing scene. So I tried, and so I was doing boards while doing character designs. And then Roy was like, "Oh, you're a storyboard artist." I'm like, "I am." So yeah. So I so the next handout, I was given a full chunk of script. So I became a
Wow.
storyboard artist at that point while still doing character designs.
I was gonna ask. That's insane.
It,
That's a lot
you,
of
you know
work.
how it was, man. It was insane. And this was prior, um, this was
I was gonna. Yeah, I
before
was gonna
digital. So
ask. Like,
everything was
were you working
pencil.
on paper
Yeah.
still at
And
this
it
point?
was,
Oh, okay.
yeah, with the revision and everything. So, I mean, like, definitely, I was lagging, I was lagging behind because it was just so much work. So they realized that. And then they got this amazing artist. His name is Rob Bandel, to help me out with character design. So he came in, um, I was still the lead character designer, and then I was just like basically giving him the designs I did. And first he would clean it up, and then you know, after that he started designing and stuff, and he became the uh the lead character design after I switched to storyboards full time. And
Okay.
and then at the end, it's so funny because like that's why when I say I wasn't really like a lead character designers, or I wasn't the only character designers, because at the end of the show everyone designed characters. So yeah, everyone was given a chance to design the characters, and there was also a point where um, this guy Emilio Lopez, he was the colorist for the show. Um, he designed all of us. as a characters.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
in it?
all of us, we were all in it as incidental characters, but still. So yeah,
That's
everyone,
so cool.
yeah, everyone designed something in the show, like everyone. So it was
Wow.
like a full collaboration. Yeah,
It
seriously.
works so
So
well for storyboards that they thought everyone
yeah,
should
yeah,
try out
yeah,
for other
yeah.
jobs.
Yeah. So yeah,
Wow.
that's how I became a storyboard artist. Thanks to Roy Burdine seeing a potential in me. And yeah. So yeah, definitely thanks to him.
So when you're given an assignment for character design, especially in a show like Turtles, which is set in a city, how much are I mean my guess is it's different from show to show, but I'm curious on Turtles. How much are you given like, okay, we want a broad range of ethnicities and ages, or is it more like we need moms and kids, or like how much leeway do you guys have if it's background character design, or even with like some incidentals or main
Yeah.
characters, do you get
Mhm.
to play a little bit?
Oh yeah, yeah. With incidentals, you definitely get to play around a lot more. You could, you have freedom to do whatever you want, but sometimes the script calls for it, a specific look
Mm-hmm.
or a specific type. Um, yeah, but so with incidentals, you could definitely play around with. Yeah, I've designed so many people in there. I've added my dad is in there, my friend is in there.
Yeah, like if you're stuck for an idea, do you just think, okay, who'd I go to high school with? Like, is that
Yeah,
actually what happens?
pretty much. Or like I would just like hang out at the park and the 23rd and Broadway, and I would just like watch people, and then just like get
Yeah.
inspiration because like that's the best reference anyways, and from real life, So
That's so interesting. And I know Chuck talked a lot about stylistically what he wanted the
mm,
show to be. He wanted it darker. He talked a lot
yeah,
about shadows, a
hmm
lot about. So when you're working, how does that inform your work and does it change your work? Are you able to just go? Because the shows you've worked on over the years vary stylistically so much.
mm,
Um, so is there a lot of trial and error with that, or I mean that's why I want to see the designs
yeah,
because I think that's the interesting journey to me is like, okay, we need this guy to be, we need this edgier, we need
mm,
this sweeter or whatever it is, like
yeah.
how does that all work?
Like what I said before, it was the style was already set when it came in. So I
Yeah.
would basically what I was just doing was just following the style, doing my designing my characters, but following the style. And it was a bit easier for me because of that. In terms of like like adding the shadows and stuff, that wasn't really my job. It was the colorist. It was Chuck and the colorist's
Hmm.
discussion about that. So yeah, so basically mine was just like, the design of the characters. And then later on I was, giving giving input for colors and all that stuff, so ideas and stuff like that. So that was kind of fun. Um
Did the technology change while you were working on it?
Oh yeah, yeah. That's another thing is like because I'm a tech guy. I'm super nerd. I love techs.
Excellent.
Yeah. And I was the
You're in the right place.
yeah. So I was the very first guy who actually bought a Cintiq, and I was telling
I don't know
oh
what
the
that is.
tablet, the drawing tablet.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
I bought my tablet when it came out. No, not really when it came out, but a year after it came out, 2006. I was the first one who owned one,
Now, is this
and
like the screen ones, or is this just the
oh no, it's actual
the
screen
bamboo?
one.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, the tablet is the real one. So when I bought that, I was like, this is it. This is the future. We're not going to be drawing on pencil anymore because especially for character designers, the line is so fine. All you got to do is print it out. And I remember doing that for a couple of my designs and just basically printed it out. And I was presenting it to them. It's like, look, this is it. This is the future. It's so easy to revise. It's easier for artists, blah 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 blah. But it was denied at the time. And then a couple of years after that, when you can't really get away with it, so everyone just like the studio bought us Cintiqs for
Mhm.
work, and then we became digital. That was like 2007 or 2008 or something like that. Yeah, yeah.
That must have been so frustrating knowing that was available and still working old school.
Yeah, yeah, it was very frustrating for sure, for real. And
What
I wasn't even.
finally? Sorry. I was going to ask what finally convinced them to just be like, all
No,
right.
it wasn't me that convinced them.
Mhm.
I think it's it's what's you have to because like this is it, this is the future. So you got to go digital or it's not gonna work out well.
Mhm.
I think there was a lot of reluctance there to do certain things. Like I know even recording remotely, they were like,
Yeah,
no, 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 you have to be here. Like there was a lot of stuff that I don't, and maybe again because they were a new company and
yeah.
really. I mean, how cool for you to learn with the company. Whereas I think a lot of those veterans were probably like, these deadlines are not doable. And you were this wide-eyed kid who's like, I'll figure it out. Like, what do you remember what the timelines were per episode? We've heard they
Oh
were
yeah.
crazy fast.
It was definitely crazy fast. I remember that I had a quota that I had like I had to design uh in 1 week I have to design at least 10 characters. And
Okay.
then
And what is normal? Because I don't know what the
whoa, when you're
norm
designing a
is.
character, sometimes it would take as long as it should because like, these are characters who
Yeah.
will be, forever. But like with the time constraint we have, like, I had to like really bust it out and
Right.
um
Like you could take a day, 2 days to really do something like
yeah.
that.
I mean like yeah,
And
so
there you
if
were.
if you're
Yeah.
designing 10 characters a week, so that's like 2 characters a day. That is a lot. That is already a
Yeah.
lot. Yeah. And then
Steve, how crazy is your or I guess you're doing storyboard, so it's different, but do you know what the timeline on a show like Rick and Morty is for things like that?
For character design?
Yeah, like or like how crazy does this sound to you? Cuz what I mean, both of you guys who work in this now, do these timelines blow your mind or are they not as insane as I think they are?
I'm trying to think like what it's like for designers. I'm not usually up to date with their schedule, but uh could always benefit from a little bit more time, I think even today.
yeah, yeah.
I guess
Uh
everyone always wants more time.
yeah.
Like and so with the story once you moved into storyboards, was that the same kind of crunch and like now do other jobs feel luxurious after working at 4 Kids?
The storyboards kind of evolved like the amount in terms of like the what you have to do now because like back in the day like when we were doing boards on paper, it's like you could do your scene in 3 panels,
Hmm.
right? That's complete. That's like one scene in 3 panels. That's like the standard, right? So now it's you're pretty much animating everything, it's like you're doing layout pretty much, not storyboarding so much no more. It's because I think because the technology kind of pushed us to actually produce that um work. And so the studios expect us to produce that work. So it changed. I would say um the timeline before was shorter. Um, we have more time now, but we have more work too. So
Mm.
Right. Okay.
yeah.
Well
And
said.
more and less episodes per season. I imagine. Then like your dad was doing 26 episodes probably, and I'm sure Turtles had a pretty long season,
Yeah,
and
26.
now
Yeah, I think
no
26 too. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, and now it's 10 episodes. So how
Yeah.
is that like for both of you? How has that changed the industry? Is it does it mean more trying to find the next job all the time, or like how does that affect your workflow?
Um, yeah, Steve, you want to answer that
Oh, I it's
one?
definitely, you're kind of there's never a point where you feel like, oh, cool, I'm set for a bit. I could relax. I got a job.
Yeah.
I think, before my current gig, I think it was just like my average was like every 3 months I had to look for something new.
Yeah.
It just that's what
Wow.
it was, and
Yeah.
it sucks.
Wasn't there a point where like they would only hire artists every 6 months and then um the studio would get rid of them or uh finish their contract and then rehire them after a month or so
Oh,
at some point. Um, and that because they don't want them to be a full time, so they don't have to pay
Mm.
the
Oh,
yeah.
okay, because they don't want to give them benefits
Yeah.
like health
Yep.
insurance, so they
Yep.
want to keep them as
As
contractors.
freelancer,
Yeah.
yeah. So there
Yeah.
was that
Oh,
point.
that doesn't shock me. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. But like these days, it's like what Steve said, after you finish a contract, there's usually like a month or two for you to like look for a new one. Fortunately, I've worked with so many companies and I networked every time work for a new studio. So sometimes I would just get the offer, the phone call while I'm still working on the other one. So I was just like, can you wait until, I finish this
Hmm.
and sometimes I would actually do multiple because like I know when that happens, it's gonna run out. You know what I mean? Like it's about to run out. Did you ever feel that, Steve? Like when there's so much work at some point and then all of a sudden there was like a crash, like n no work at all.
Well, I mean, we're living in it. It's
Yeah, yeah,
I yeah. There's been many points where I felt like I shouldn't turn anything down because
yeah,
you don't know what's gonna happen next, and especially for
exactly.
me, because I had like a similar kind of, at least like getting into boards where I really didn't have any professional experience getting into it. So any opportunity I could get, I was like, I should take it, especially
Yeah,
because I learned as I did it. But yeah, there was a point for me at least when it was like, sometimes it rained. When it rained, it poured, and
yeah,
I was
yeah,
like,
exactly.
better I do this than not do it.
Yeah,
And
exactly. Yeah,
now, I mean, a lot of people are kind of wishing it was
yeah,
it's like that now. And
yeah.
but
No, I feel it. I feel it for sure.
but
Yeah, it's
for me
crazy.
also is a similar thing where half the time I didn't have to look because it was a previous director I worked with or someone else just was like, hey, I'm hopping on this show and we need
Yeah.
people, are you available? And thankfully that's how I've gotten most of my jobs here.
Yeah, same
It's
here. Same here. Yeah.
so it you know it you I mean it's obvious saying this, but it does a disservice to half-ass a job. Just do like
Yeah.
do the job that's asked of you and do it to the best of your abilities, and it kind of pays itself forward because
Yeah.
if you're dependable, people are going to remember that, and you want
Yeah.
people thinking about you when you're not in the room.
Yeah. Absolutely, man.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, your dad could only get you in the door, but then you had to do the work. And like, how
Yes.
nice to have that door opened,
Yeah.
but
That's actually
no
one of the
one's,
hardest.
you're not keeping a job
Hmm.
Yeah.
for that.
But yeah, but th that door was definitely hard to find, you know? I mean, like if it
Hmm.
wasn't
Yeah.
given to me, then I don't know what I would be doing now, you know? When you're that young, when at the time where I got the job, I don't know if I'd pushed through it if I didn't get that door, you know what I mean? Because like it was just too hard for me at the time. So, but yeah, getting that door is definitely awesome.
Where do you guys see animation going? I know the climate from talking to people just feels like there's not as much production right now. And do you see that swinging back? I mean, what's the word on the street with animators and people that work on your side of it?
What?
And again, there might not be a real answer. I'm
Mm.
just kind of curious
I think if we
what
knew
your
the
take
real
is.
answer, I think we wouldn't be so stressed.
Yeah,
I mean,
seriously.
is it just a stressed out tone among your people right now, like it is with a lot of us?
Yes,
Yeah, kind of.
and
Yeah.
I think,
Okay.
Tara, it's like, I think it's just like an LA, it's a Hollywood thing in general. I mean, I was listening to something on, I was listening to this mini little podcast on Spotify, and they're interviewing one of the guys who won the Oscar for sound editing for Whiplash, and he can't find work. This guy has an
Yeah.
Oscar. It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
it. Oh,
No, but it makes me feel like this is more important in some ways than I realize, because I think all of us need to connect in certain ways and start making our own stuff,
mhm.
because the studio system's in a strange place right now. So we have to collaborate with our friends. And I always tell people, like, I'll do all your scratch track, whatever you need, let's just get stuff made.
Well,
I agree.
There's a huge indie boom right now, at least for like animation. I guess that includes voice acting, because I think, a lot of people can get their start acting on these indie projects as well as animating boards, whatever. And I think that's great. I think it's awesome, but also people gotta get paid. And
well, that's the trouble. I had to turn down some stuff like that could have turned into something great, because I can't take that kind of pay cut. But I also know that there's a new generation of people that will do it, and I do want them to have a chance as well.
People that aren't living in an expensive city like us, and it's rough. And I've had other people that that worked through the recession back in 2008, and they tell me this is worse. It's
oh wow.
I think a lot of it right now, it's just a lot of these studios kind of, after the big streaming wars, it's a big reset, and they're just trying to they're trying to make a profit again and show profit. Like, when those quarterly reports show up, they want to show that they're profitable, and unfortunately that means like cutting so many people, canceling productions so they could save money. And we're still going through it. I mean, it's hitting gaming, and it's tough. And luckily, sorry if I'm hijacking this conversation so much.
No, please.
Adrian might have some good input. I think we're thankfully, like, with in the age where like everyone's online, the best thing we could do is just put stuff out there, or at least like create our own things and just show our skills and put it out there, because you never know who'll see it. Because I've seen some people that have gotten work, both animation and acting, just for putting some out there, and it's not necessarily a portfolio or a reel or something like that. It could just be, hey, I saw you did this and this was really cool, thought you'd be a good fit for this
There's
job.
no obvious way to get work anymore.
No.
And I think we come from, and we're different ages, but we come from the world where there's a step by step. You get the job interview, you get the thing, you get, like, there's a natural progression that just doesn't exist anywhere anymore.
Yeah, we were talking about the door that my dad had opened for me, and everyone has a door now. Like the social media, the Instagram, YouTube. That's your door. That's everyone's doors. And with the remote working was definitely I see it as a double-edged sword. It's like it was awesome, but also it opened up a vast talent pool, you know what I mean, for studios to hire from all
with the world now.
Exactly. So that's like that was like, but at the same time, it's like I tried to look at it as like, you know what, I gotta push more. You know what I mean? Because like your competition is just insane.
And I mean, look, and you guys are so accomplished. So when I hear you guys saying that, it hits different. So I appreciate you talking candidly about that, because I didn't mean to make this take a depressing.
No, I'm trying to be encouraging. What I was just gonna say is, I forget
this is us being encouraging.
It's always darkest before the dawn. I've heard somewhere before. I was just gonna say, I forget exactly what the wording was of this advice, but it was just always being ready to go. Like if there's a career you want or a job you want, sometimes these opportunities just come out of nowhere, and when they do, you got to be ready to show up and do the work, and
sleep in a car.
Yes,
absolutely. That happened for you in 2002.
I loved that. Yeah,
that's the thing. It's you. I don't know where I was going here. It's just you gotta just like part of it is like it's really tough landing work right
Well,
now.
it's
Yeah,
preparation. I think what you were remembering is it's like success or whatever is preparation meeting opportunity.
exactly.
So
Yeah.
the minute that door even slightly opens, you got it. There's no second chance sometimes
Hmm.
with that door.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, I mean, and obviously the three of us are incredibly lucky, but it sounds like we all were prepared,
Hmm.
or we were at least prepared to work hard. And I
Yeah,
think that's
for
maybe
sure.
part of the lesson.
Uh,
Can you brag a little about some of the stuff you've done since working at 4Kids? Because it's a lot, and I just want to hear some like things that were highlights for you to be part of. Because
Oh.
there's so many cool. I mean, I'd be here all day if I read all your credits.
Well, yeah, I'm just always grateful that I was able to work on those many shows, especially with Turtles, because Turtles was definitely my foundation, it was a home to me for me and meeting all those people. And that company is the best. I would say it's the best because this was also before all the sensitive workers in studios like were I don't know if our HR did anything at that time because like we were all crazy in that studio. When we were having
Yeah.
parties and stuff in the
Mhm.
studio, it
All the
was
Halloween parties. Yep.
insane. It was
Hmm.
so much fun. It was just so much fun. It was the best experience I've ever had. And that company was awesome. They took care of all of us. So yeah, so that being said, like um I'm definitely I would say proud of the boards that I've done, especially in the season after I started because I was still learning at the time.
Hmm.
And we had this amazing storyboard guy named Edwin Nebris. Rest in peace. He just passed away recently.
Oh, it's horrible.
He was phenomenal. He was just like everyone's teacher in that studio.
Mm.
Not just in art, but also in life. He was very philosophical, and he was like that guy that you could go up to and like tell your problems and like and he gave me so much um lessons, and I learned so much from him in storyboarding,
Yeah.
and he's amazing. And so yeah, so the boards that I did after that was definitely um I'm a little proud of.
Yeah, you should
Yeah.
be. It's kind of a shame that we don't get to watch like look at those as part of like maybe with Disney once in a while you'll get a
Mm,
glimpse at some
yeah.
stuff, but I just wish they were more readily available.
Oh yeah, there was also yeah, there you go. Good thing I thought of this. I really love this one season that was never shown. We did a
Oh,
whole season of Turtles. It was like dark and like super awesome. Like
wait,
like
like how many like
it was
how
a
much
whole
work went
season. It
into
was
this?
26 episodes.
No.
Yeah. This was
Wait,
Yeah,
yeah, this
this
was
was
this
the
was
season.
Steve, you know this?
Yeah, like sorry, like my knowledge is a little vague. This was the season that was meant to set up the fast forward season, if I'm not
yeah.
mistaken.
I
I think
think that's what it was.
eventually it aired or released on
I think they
DVD or
released it
something.
on DVD or
Yes.
something like that.
Hmm.
But that was so much.
Oh, I know what.
Yeah.
Okay, I do
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
I understand what you're
That
talking
I think Lloyd was just amazing in that because like that was all Lloyd's. Lloyd Goldtime.
about.
That was
Yeah,
his all
yeah.
ideas, and
We
it
talked to
just
him. Yeah.
I was like, wow, this is magic. This is awesome. So
Well, that's something else that people forget is like we all work on stuff that never sees the light of day. Luckily, that did eventually come out and people saw it, but there's so much stuff we do that no one ever sees,
yeah.
or again, or like an idea gets scrapped and then you're back to the drawing board and you're like, that would have been people would have really liked that. So yeah, I'm just like peeking at. So you did all this like Spider-Man,
Oh yeah.
Avengers, Batman. What were you a fan of? Were you like that you got to work on that like blew your mind that you got to
Well,
draw the
all
certain
of them for sure. I
characters?
mean,
All of them.
TMNT for sure,
Okay.
because like, I grew up, I was born in the 80s. So the first one came
Yeah.
out in the 86 or something like that. So I was a huge fan of it. And then I never
Okay.
thought that I would be working on the 2003 one. So that was like a dream job for me for sure. So I'm proud of all of the work that I did there, but but it was during the time where I was still kind of learning. So I'm like, you know how like when you look at your old
Yeah.
work, you kind of cringe, you know.
Mm.
Oh
So
my gosh, I won't watch stuff from that I did at 4Kids. I'm humiliated, and
yeah.
it is crazy because Pokemon specifically is such a big deal
Mm.
that I'm like, that was the first anime I ever dubbed, and it was episode 10, and I can't. I mean, billions of people have seen that episode, and I'm like, you watched me learn how to dub. Like, and I can never redo that,
Mm.
and it's crazy. But luckily, people, I guess, are not appalled by it.
I'm sure it was
But people
amazing.
people see. Well, it's fine. But like people are watching the stuff we cut our teeth on, and
Mm.
that's we're. I mean, again, how lucky we were both. We were probably about the same age at that time, and we're real lucky.
Yeah,
So what are
absolutely.
you working on today? I know you play music, you do films, like you're a jack of all trades. What should people check out?
Um,
Where can they follow you? What should they know?
wow. I just recently got into filmmaking, live action. So I'm like really geeking out on new gears and stuff like that. I've been into it since 2010, I think. But I never really focus on it. I just like do it on the side. But now I'm like really
Mhm.
focused on it, buying all the gear and stuff. So yeah, so I don't know if I have something to show for film yet. I don't want to show people yet because it's
Okay, well, I'll put a link to your Instagram
yeah, yeah, well,
in the show notes, and that way, when you're ready to
yeah,
let the
sure,
world
sure,
see it,
absolutely.
they'll be ready.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, so when we were talking about like going for it right earlier, like when you get some offer, it just recently happened to me actually, and uh guy who I worked with for Wakanda, the animation, the new one that came out at Disney Plus. Um, he offered me to do storyboards for this new show that I can't say yet.
NDA, yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
but he asked me if I know how to do storyboards on Blender, and then I was like, "Yeah, I do." Yeah, I didn't.
You lied.
Can you tell people like me? I've heard the term before, but I know it's some
Blender,
kind of software,
yeah, Blender
right?
is the 3D
Okay.
software that can also do 2D. So it's an integration of 2D and 3D. Um, it's a free software, so which is
Hmm.
cool. So when I got that offer, I said, yeah, I do. And then after we hung up, I searched Google and then just learned
Crash course.
everything.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, for real. And I was doing so bad. But it's still here, still doing the job.
You
So
kept the job.
kept the job, still doing it.
Awesome.
So it's fine. So so
Well,
yeah,
we can't wait till you can announce what that is. I'm excited to see what
yeah, I'll
that ends
definitely
up
on my
being.
Instagram for sure.
Okay, good.
Once yeah, come out. Yeah.
Any final words from you gentlemen before we let this nice man go?
Oh, thank you for having me. Thank you
No,
for
of
having me,
course.
even
Well,
though I
thank you.
Love
don't have
talking
much to
shop.
say, but yeah,
Yeah,
seriously.
no, it's great to have met you and or re-see you again. Again, I
Yeah.
assume no one remembers me since it was so long ago. So it was great to see you again. And the time, I wish I had done this podcast 10 years ago when we all remembered more details. But
Yeah, seriously. Yeah.
you remembered a
Now leave
lot.
it
So
to the
I
artists to
I
have
remember
that
that.
visual memory.
Yeah, yeah. And I also, you know what? I was the photographer for that. Like, I mean, like whenever we go out, it's like I always, yeah,
oh,
me and Otis Bray Boy always bought a one of those Kodak cameras.
the
Ra-
digital,
the
the
disposable ones.
disposable cameras. Yeah,
I have about this thick of pictures from 4 Kids.
yeah.
So I kept all the memories. I'm gonna
Oh,
try to
you're the
find I'm
guy.
gonna try to find if you're in one of the
Please.
pictures and I'll send it to you.
I want to see. I'm going to look through my Halloween party pictures and see if I can find you.
Yeah, yeah,
Because I
yeah.
have a bunch
Oh,
of
you
those
do
again
too?
with that
Oh
same
no.
crappy camera though.
Yes.
Like they're so blurry.
Yeah.
It's such a shame.
Some of them are good though. Some of
Ugh.
them are good. Yeah.
once in a while, but I,
Yeah. So,
God, kids are never going to understand waiting for film to be developed.
oh man, it's
Remember? Oh
crazy. It's
God.
crazy. And sometimes like, oh my God, all of them have no flash. No.
Yeah, yeah, they'd all be dark. Yeah. Oh, it's a
Yeah.
nightmare. Oh man.
Oh
Well, thank
man.
you. Again really appreciate you taking the time. If you ever think of more stuff you want to talk about, you can always hit us up,
Oh
and
yeah, for sure.
we
Yeah, yeah.
appreciate it.
Thank you so much
Yeah.
for having me, you guys. Take care, you guys.
At Sierra, discover top workout gear at incredible prices, which might lead to another discovery. Your headphones haven't been connected this whole time. Awkward. Discover top brands at unexpectedly low prices. Sierra, let's get moving.
Wow, that was some animation storyboard royalty that we just spoke to.
No, like just a phenomenal career, and I think what's so special about it for us is like it all started at 4Kids and with TMNT.
Yeah. That's so cool. I don't normally do this, but I'm going to put a link to his IMDb in the show notes, because when you see the extent of stuff he's worked on,
Yeah.
it's just so impressive. Yeah.
You didn't have to sleep in any cars, did you?
No, thank God. But I think, like, listen, when you're 22, you have the energy to do that. But oh my God,
yeah.
that was a crazy story. I just, wow. Yeah.
Me and my
but you
age,
have
I
to
can't even sit on a
want it.
plane for that long without. Like,
Yeah, seriously.
fit,
I get
so-
annoyed if totally. Yeah, no, he's phenomenal, and I understand why people said such nice things about him. I do remember. It's funny, a lot of these people I remember, but I don't expect them to remember me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, good to meet you. Like being silly, but
It's a reintroduction.
it's a reintroduction. But just, yeah, such an impressive career. I love the family history of it. I loved learning the history of Filipinos in comic books. That was something I didn't know enough about. And now I'd love to do more of it. There should be a documentary. There probably is a documentary about that. I should find
be.
it.
But it was kind of it almost with that background or with those interests, it was just perfect with TMNT. It wasn't just like it's like, oh, this is a job. It was like, no, this is such a good fit for you, and because that Ninja Turtles felt so comic book inspired, and it was
Yeah.
and then just it worked out tremendously. So
That's so cool.
And the thing is with this line of work, I think something I was thinking of, like, what's another thing I always hear? It's just, it's not always about, it's not always about the most skilled people or the ones that get the jobs, because that also leads to some really terrible mindsets when you can't find work. It's like, oh, it must mean I'm bad. No, it's a lot of it. It's just, the right place, right time, and having the skills.
Mm-hmm.
It's opportunity is just weird. It's just some of these things just you can't predict it.
No, and again, it goes back to our theme of leading a creative life, and it's not always what you thought. I mean, I love that he thought he wasn't ever going to do storyboards, and then it happened, and now that's all. That's all he does. It's so crazy. And not to bring the mood down, but after we recorded, we talked a little bit about AI and how it can replace all of our jobs, and it's scary. But I bring it up because I want to encourage the audience to really support human-made things. If it comes to that point where you get to choose between an AI project and a human-made project, do your research. And do you want to be moved by something a robot wrote, or do you want to think that a writer toiled away and poured their soul into it? So I just ask you guys out there to do that.
Yeah, and we talked about like how the internet is like such a great resource now for just finding anyone. All I could suggest is find artists you like, support them, follow them.
Yeah.
If they have an online store, buy something from them. If they have a Patreon, subscribe to it if you can. Because that's what's going to, because talking about with indie projects, that's what's going to help, indie projects happen.
Yeah.
So,
it's a weird time.
If you've grown at generative AI crap, or if you're just tired of, other things in mainstream media, then, you just got to look for artists out there and support what they're doing.
Yeah.
That's
and
how
we
cool
have
stuff
a
gets made.
Patreon, actually.
Yes, we
have
do.
a Patreon. Speaking of, again, I know we're not putting out as many new episodes as we did, but if you want the chance to join our Discord channel, where a lot of great conversations take place, you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/4kidsflashback. And honestly, if you're still listening, we really appreciate it. We know your time is valuable, just like Adrian's. And thank you to Adrian for being here. Thank you, Steve, for being here.
Thank you,
and
Tara.
we will.
Catch you next time.
4Kids Flashback is a production of Maji Media, hosted by Tara Sands and Steve Yurko.
Producers are Zach Logan, Tara Sands, and Steve Yurko.
For more information, go to 4kidsflashback.com. That is the number 4. And if you worked at 4Kids and have a story you want to share, please email us at 4kidsflashback@gmail.com.
You can find us on social media at 4Kids Flashback, and to listen early and ad-free, head to patreon.com/4kidsflashback. And for podcast merchandise, find links on our website and Linktree.
As they say on every podcast, if you liked this show, please subscribe, rate, and review, and tell your friends, or 4. If you want to check out other Maji Media podcasts, go to maji.media. Thanks for listening.